It's so crazy to me that like so many people try to act like just because you sing and you also rap that isn't a part of hip hop history. Like Lauryn Hill didn't exist. Like a Kanye wasn't around doing what he was doing.
Kanye ain't no
We
singer.
act like
Stop.
this isn't a part of hip hop.
The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue.
We should be celebrating this move because it would be a win for artists. But here we are. We're going to come after Drake because he did it.
So they're going to give you evidence saying, oh, yeah, we did something wrong. And mind you, this is a RICO. Why are they going to give you evidence against them that you can use in the court of law to sue us? That's why this is not going to go anywhere.
Well, the reason why... Welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
And I am, y'all know who I am. I'm Hendrix.
Do we know who you are?
Yeah, everybody knows. No, I hope everybody don't know me.
You don't want people to know you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want people come up. Well, nobody, I don't know about it, but I don't want people coming up to me on the streets or nothing like that.
I thought you liked that. I thought you liked
No, I thought you liked that
all the attention.
You
all
the man on the
adoration.
street. You remember you the man on the street?
I'm the man on the street.
You the man on the street wearing N-words for Trump.
I mean,
going to a black rally.
Sometimes you gotta get out there and
be an N-word for Trump.
Well, you got to do stuff. I feel like the social media game. You have to get out there and you got to do some things that people
that would trigger people.
Exactly.
That is true. That's how you make it. That's how you make it. So that's why you an N-word for Trump.
I didn't have on the N-word for Trump.
Y'all
Stop
go
saying
look at
that.
the video. Go look at his video.
It's not that. I didn't do that.
He was in people's faces
I wasn't doing that.
When people were voting. He was down there trying to give them drinks and give them
coming
juices.
After me.
You know, there's a law against that, right? You can't give nobody nothing to drink.
Oh no, I didn't give nobody.
He was out there. He had little cups. If you were N-word for Trump.
What?
You're passing out drinks.
All right, we're not talking about this right now.
I am. The people want to know.
No,
why are you passing out juices at when people?
First
are going
of
to
all,
vote?
you're getting it wrong. You can give water and stuff and juices at a rally.
No.
You can't do it when people are voting.
No, you was at the voting line.
Thinking.
No,
I wasn't at the voting line.
Yes, you were. I saw you.
I was at the Kamala rally.
No,
dog.
you was there too, and you was in voting.
No, I was.
But the thing.
I see what you're saying.
This is what I noticed. You only did it to the black people. You didn't do it.
This guy.
You didn't do it to the white people.
No, there was a lot of white people. Actually, the black people were the people who were like, no, we ain't going on this thing. And then the white people were like, oh, yeah, come on over. Well, really, it was kind of like a mix. It was like a mix of people.
Yeah.
So,
I saw one person said when Justin was interviewing the one dude, he said, man, I hope Trump do get in and make the comeback because his brother can buy a shirt. he did an interview
I think
with no
I did
shirt
see
on.
that, yeah.
So that brother needs Trump to win. No, he didn't say he hoped Trump get. He said he needs Trump to win so he can afford to buy a shirt.
I saw that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was.
The voter's voice. That's what we're talking about here.
The voter's voice.
The voter's voice.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about GNX. Everybody's been going off. I've been hearing a lot of different opinions, varying opinions.
Mm-hmm.
GNX by Kendrick Lamar dropped, and a lot of people have been listening to it. I've been hearing from the Kendrick people. To them, it's fire, but of course they're biased. But
of course it's not fire to you.
No, I mean, first, like he finally dropped an album. Mm-hmm. It took him, I don't know how long. I mean, really, I feel like the beef has kind of died out, and so we'll see how much it sells. A lot of people are saying that it's only going to sell around 300 to 400, or it's only going to do around 300 or 400. That's what I've been hearing. But, Drake's like lowest album was at like 500. So, I've been hearing a lot of different things. So
About GNX?
Yeah, GNX, have you listened to the album yet?
I only heard a track when I was in the gym. I have to listen to the whole album,
All right, so you still got to listen to it.
I got to listen to it.
I mean, what's the verdict? So, like, you listen to at least a couple of songs. Mm-hmm. Is it what the Kendrick people are saying? Is it like next level?
Is it next level? I think it's, if this make any sense, I think it's Kendrick. The whatever level Kendrick is on, I think it's Kendrick's level, He does what he do.
That sounds like an L.
No.
That sounds like an L.
At least,
and a dub for Drake.
No, at least, so check it out, right? So I'm going to read the New York Times here, right? So they're responding to what the New York Times said. Kendrick Lamar heads back to his comfort zone on GNX, right? You think it was a safe thing? You think it was kind of
It was
please?
so
He's
safe,
playing kind of
so
safe. Okay,
safe.
all right. So they said after War of Words with Drake that yielded one of the biggest hits of Lamar's career. The Los Angeles rapper is eager to shift back on his sixth album. So it says GNX. Every so often, Kendrick Lamar steps into the present. The rapper, who's 37, is so mindful of hip hop history, his role in it, and the internal logic of the genre that is often seems like he's performing on a different playing field than his out sensible peers. He's a man on an island, right? So, and this is a part of what made his feud with Drake, which began in March and stretched through the spring and the summer, so bracing. Not only did it place Lamar in the immediate present and with real stakes on the line, but it underscored a streak of apparent disgust and resentfulness that emerges anytime he's being pulled into to the now. What's happening in the moment is in essence a distraction from Lamar's larger creative mission, right? So, but damn, I'm trying to see what are they saying. What's the reviews on GNX?
I don't. I think a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people are kind of playing it safe right now. They're saying things. My brother, who is, you know, from LA, but really, I started listening to Kendrick Lamar because of him. Really,
You make it sound like you're not even from LA.
he was
He
like,
disown y'all.
no, but listen, he was like, oh, it's very '80s. That was his comments.
Oh, really? For GNX?
Like he felt like it's like
Okay.
early like hip hop. There's a lot of early hip hop influence there.
Yeah,
So for him, that's what he said when I asked him how's the album.
I get that.
Like when I was expecting Kendrick fans to be like, "Yo, this is great. Like this is like the greatest album of all time." Because by the way that they were talking, they were making it seem like it was going to be some kind of great thing, continuing on what's already happened this year, which has been a crazy year. I mean, with the beef and all of that stuff. I mean, we're still talking about this, and this stuff happened when? It's like
Last
April,
spring,
May.
spring,
I mean, so
summer.
we're still talking about it, but I expected it to be like the greatest thing ever because this is his moment, right? He's on top, And so when I'm listening to a lot of the fans, I'm hearing a lot of, he ain't even put out everything. He's still got more coming in the chamber. It's like, okay, so what do you mean by what is this album? Like we're already trying to move past this album, and I'm not trying to be biased here. Let me say this. There are a couple songs on here because I've been listening to the album. There's a couple songs that I actually like, like Luther and, some of these other songs. I actually like those. But I mean, Kendrick, like you said, this is very Kendrick.
Yeah,
To me, it seems like a lot of the same stuff that he's been doing. I will give him one thing because, I always talk about his antics. I feel like he tamed them down a little bit. There wasn't a ton of oh, now we got to listen to Pac. Now we got to listen to this thing over here. And now there's a big scene that's happening and, they're fighting. And, there wasn't a lot of that. There's still some little moments in there, but there wasn't a lot of it, So I'll give him yo, that was good. At least you tamed yourself a little bit on that. So, and you actually gave us some music, but
Kendrick is a lyricist. He's big on lyricism. Honestly, man, it's really you got to think about. Even though it's hip hop, they're both in two different lanes. They do almost two different style of music. You know what I mean? So Drake going to make more of the party records. No, and it's not to say that Drake is not a lyricist either. And he has some bangers too. But he going to make more of the party records and stuff like that. And Kendrick going to make more of the Kendrick don't really make party records like that. You know what I mean? How many? I mean, a few songs maybe, but how many? If you go to a club or a party, you probably can play more Drake songs than you can play. Yeah.
You
So
can.
to me, I think it's like two different lanes. You know, and each one
It's
of them,
just
they stay in their lane. You
it's
know what I'm saying?
well,
They
not.
both
I mean, the thing about Drake, you can never say that he stays in a lane. Drake
well.
does all types of music. He
He doesn't do
doesn't just do
conscious.
one.
He don't do
Yes, he
conscious rap.
does. You
No,
guys just don't listen to the
what
songs.
track he does
Y'all
that's in the
just
same
don't
lane as
listen to
Kendrick
those
does?
songs. Go listen to
No, man, he does
the
no
end of
conscious.
For All the Dogs, the 6-part album that he put out after
The
All
end
the
for All
Dogs.
the Dogs.
If you go listen to those songs, man, he like really lays in. I mean, Red Button, some of these other songs. I was like, dang, Drake's actually really speaking right here.
But these
But you know,
aren't the songs that appeal to the masses. More his hits. You know, when he does the collab, those are the
I
songs
just
that
think y'all
appeal
don't
to
really
the masses.
go and listen to those
And
songs.
Kendrick's songs,
Y'all
you know,
just-
and what type of songs he do,
Y'all like nitpicking.
that appeals to the masses. So nobody want to hear Kendrick rap. I mean, Drake rap conscious, and they don't expect Kendrick to be putting out
Drake does
a bunch
all
of party
types of
songs.
music. He doesn't just do conscious. He doesn't just
He
rap.
does
He doesn't
party.
just do all these different things. That's why he did all of that.
I haven't heard nothing
And
conscious
it's
from
so
Drake.
crazy to me that like so many people try to act like just because you sing and you also rap, that isn't a part of hip hop history. Like Lauryn Hill didn't exist. Like, you know, Kanye wasn't around doing what he was doing.
Kanye ain't no
We
singer.
act
Stop
like
it.
this isn't a part of hip hop. Like these Houston rappers, a lot of people like to bring up. Like you act like this ain't a part of it. You act like Drake isn't a part of this thing, even though this is woven into the, you know, fabric of what hip hop and this music is about, rap. You know, like we act like this isn't a part of it. And you guys come after him at every turn, you know, like, but it's, you know, it's okay.
Man, dude, you need some water?
By the way,
You really going in for Drizzy over there, bro.
By the way, so, I mean, let me say this about the album, GNX.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still listening to it. I'm still digesting. This is all new, right? And by the way, we're going to talk about the lawsuit. Don't worry. We're talking about the lawsuit as well and all that stuff that's going on. But I think, so for GNX, to me, Kendrick sounds, there's been this thing brewing about Kendrick. He sounds very angry and mad with the industry and with the people around it. And, you know, I don't know if I like this Kendrick. I don't know if I like this side of Kendrick. The side of him where he's going after Lil Wayne. He even
Does he
dissed.
say that in the lyrics or
Yeah, listen to
his lyrics?
the music that he's been making.
Wayne. I heard
But listen,
something
hold
about Lil
on.
Wayne.
The music he's been making lately, he sounds angry, he sounds mad, he sounds disgusted. And I don't know if I like this Kendrick. I don't know if I like this guy who wants to come out here and go after some of the greats like Snoop Dogg and Lil Wayne and all these people he's been dissing lately.
He been dissing Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, he says something about Snoop Dogg in this thing. You got to listen to it, man.
Man, do you have a
Kendrick's
quote?
coming after everybody.
You got any lyric quotes of what he
Well, here's what he said. He said we should probably listen to it, but what he said was,
I'll read it.
My success made Lil Wayne mad or something like that.
Yeah,
but he says it in a very, you know, he rhymes it out and stuff.
Yeah,
It makes it sound good. So, but I mean, like,
but what did he say about Snoop?
What did he say about Snoop? He was mad because Snoop said something about Tailor Made, which, you know, Drake had, you know, with the beef, he had like tweeted it out or something like that. So he was mad with Snoop. It's like, bro, what's wrong with you? What's going on with you, bro? Like, because to me, it sounds like you're angry at everybody and you're going after everybody. I don't know if I like this side of him from an artist that I actually used to like. It's like he sounds so, I don't know, disgusted. I don't know what else to say about that. So, I mean, I don't know. You probably think differently. Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. As far as none of you said, for years in hip hop, they've been every artist criticized the industry itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that been going on for the longest. They always, even Tribe Called Quest, you know,
Okay.
everybody criticized the actual industry when you had to be signed to a major label.
I feel like this is going a little further, though. I think this is
Well,
going further than
obviously,
it usually
then if
does.
he mad, then Drake mad too, because he's petitioning for, you know what I'm saying? So he mad too.
Drake? Well, yeah. I mean, well, that leads us into the lawsuit and what's been going on. So, Drake filed a lawsuit. As we've heard, he actually has filed 2 now. Here, let me actually play this video, and then we'll talk about this.
A lot of rappers and legal drama, and this is the best one I've ever seen when you understand it. So first, this isn't a lawsuit. It's a petition where Drake is asking the court to require Universal Music Group to give him evidence that he needs to bring a RICO lawsuit and a lawsuit alleging illegal business practices. What he says is, I don't know who the other people were involved with Universal, but under the law, Universal has to tell me who they are so I can sue them for the following: civil RICO, deceptive business practices. What these people did is they used illegal bots to make it seem like Not Like Us was a lot more popular than it actually was. They cite to an academic's interview where academics is on stream talking to some dude, and the dude says, I got paid $5,000 and promised 1% of Not Like Us in exchange for delivering 30 million fake bot streams when Not Like Us first launched so that it would seem more popular than it was and the algorithms would bump it up everywhere. What's really interesting.
So this guy is Mo. You can go listen to the rest of the video. He's actually a lawyer on TikTok.
He's a lawyer on TikTok.
Yeah.
He's
a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
He's on TikTok. He
Okay.
finds moments like this and puts them out there. And let's listen to this other one here.
It hasn't been 24 hours since his first filing, but Drake has filed a second pre-suit action, this time in Texas against UMG, where he's alleging that UMG funneled payments to iHeartRadio as part of their pay-to-play scheme to make Not Like Us huge. Also alleges that UMG could have stopped the release of the false allegations against Drake about being a child predator and all this other stuff, and they chose not to. And Drake alleges UMG should have and could have stopped the release and made Kendrick edit it and not call Drake a pedophile and the other false accusation that UMG allowed Kendrick to say. Saying they did all this so that they can make money. They let Kendrick attack Drake because it would cause mass hysteria and allow them to make money. One important thing to note, while Drake says that they have enough evidence to file a lawsuit for defamation, these are not lawsuits. Instead, these are pre-filed actions trying to get depositions taken from the main people at UMG, iHeartRadio, the other one, Spotify, trying to get more evidence to support their claims.
All right, so, and I think that guy's a lawyer too. His name is James Landry. You can go listen to the rest of those videos. But basically, man, I mean, when I first heard that he was suing them, I was like, and this may surprise a lot of Kendrick fans. I was like, yo, that's a bitch ass move.
You think that's what you say?
That was my first thought. That was my first thought, for real. I was like, yo, that's kind of a bitch ass move right there, Drake. What are you doing? Like, because it's like, oh, you can't beat him, so you're going to file a lawsuit. But really, when you delve into it, he's not filing a lawsuit against Kendrick. It's against the record label. And I see a lot of people talking mess about that and a lot of people making fun of it. But when you really delve into it, like you were just saying a second ago, a lot of people have always come after the industry. But, you know, specifically when it comes to record labels, who went after record labels? A lot of artists and a lot of big artists. When you think of people like, you know, Michael Jackson, or even Prince, these people really went after the labels, and now they didn't, you know, file a lawsuit because obviously they work for them. So I'm surprised that Drake actually did that.
But
you
the
know,
thing is,
and so like really, people should be celebrating Drake because of what he just did. All right, because guess what? If he actually wins this lawsuit, who's that a win for? The artist. Okay. And so like, really, that's what should be happening. But a lot of people, because they hate Drake, this is why I keep saying Drake needs to leave this shit alone. Leave it alone. Like, they were never gonna let you win. They're still not gonna let you win. Okay. This is a good move. Okay. If Kendrick had done this, people would be talking about all these woke people. They would be getting on here talking about, wow, this is one of the greatest moves in history. But because it's Drake, people just don't like him. They just don't like him. And so like that, we should be celebrating this move because it would be a win for artists. But here we are. We're going to come after Drake because he did it. All right. And they're going to call him a whiny baby. They're going to say all kinds of things about him. They're going to say it's a bitch move, which, before I really looked into it, I was like, I don't know about this one. But, when you look into it and you really figure out what's going on, because, if Kendrick did do this, really, I mean, it's basically saying that they lied to us, really. So
I think people like Drake. Drake will be fine.
Nah,
but
they don't like him.
we need to.
That's why.
So
Go ahead.
UMG, we gotta play both sides. So from
All right,
USA
go ahead.
Today, UMZ responded, right? So this is what they said. This was UMG said. Fans choose the music they want to hear. UMG wasted no time to react, with the label releasing a statement to USA Today on Monday, hours after the petition was filed. The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. The Music Corporation statement reads, "We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans chose the music they want to hear." All right. So this is the thing. You suing them, right? But then at the same time, you're petitioning them for the evidence. So why? That's how I know this is going to go nowhere.
Okay.
So you're going to petition the people that you're pretty much what you have is through hearsay. You don't have the fact, but you're going to petition the people that you're suing for the evidence so you can sue them. So they're going to give you evidence saying, "Oh yeah, we did something wrong." And mind you, this is a RICO. You know who get hit with RICOs?
I know.
Kingpins, big time.
Yeah.
So this is a RICO, right? So that's why I know this ain't gonna go nowhere. Why are they going to give you evidence against them that you can use in the court of law to sue us? That's why this is not going to go anywhere.
Well, the reason why is because Drake alleges that he has evidence on them. And, he's saying basically, I already have some of the evidence, but go look and see what else they have.
Okay.
Because there's stuff that could further prove what he's trying to say.
Right.
And so let's not act like these kind of things aren't filed a lot, because they are. It's not, this ain't some unprecedented thing. So these petitions that people file are things that people file.
They do file petitions, true. And at that point, with the evidence that you do have, right? Right? Then you go to your lawyer, right? Then your lawyer, therefore, if the evidence he do have is credible, right? He go to a lawyer. Then, he goes to his lawyer with the evidence he have credible. Then the lawyer goes to a judge. Therefore, then it's a subpoena. So then you get the subpoena in place. Then you can get the whatever evidence you need. But if you just petitioning, people destroy evidence all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, he got to get a subpoena to go to the record label to dig up whatever.
What do you think about this move? Because just answer that real quick. What do you think about the move of him filing a petition, legal action?
Honestly, I think if he has probable cause, then he should do what he has to do. You know what I mean? If he got probable cause, Do
you think it's a bad move when you think about the beef? Think about the entirety of this beef.
The beef?
Think about how they've been going back and forth, how these songs have been released, all these things have been happening.
No.
And now, Drake perceived has lost. A lot of people thought he lost. And here we go. Kendrick puts out an album, and Drake comes back with this. After he didn't get the Super Bowl. We don't have to talk about that. Think about the entirety of this whole thing. Now Drake files a legal petition.
Is he being a little salty? Maybe. Is he being a little petty? Maybe. Does he have a probable cause? I don't know. You know what I mean? But at the same time, with this whole petition thing, which I understand, I get it why he did it, but even in the beef, right? Okay, let's just talk about, like you said, about the beef.
Okay.
They both were throwing shots. Do I believe Drake was a P? What was alleged pedo?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And then he said the same thing about, I heard your kid wasn't yours, day free. You know what I'm saying? Do I believe that? No, I don't believe that. I'm not there. And if it is, then I don't know. I just figure, hey, they each since I think the digs just went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. You know what I'm
But
saying?
a lot of people think that he is a P.
Of course, some people will think that, but I
So-
don't think. But see, sometimes I look at entertainment for what it is. You know, do they hit below the belt? Yes. A lot of things alleged about a lot of your favorite celebrities aren't true, whether it be singers, actors, rappers, what have you. A lot of things aren't true. You know, people will spin and make up things just to get likes, because we live in this era now to get likes, you know, for clickbait, you know, just you know, to throw flame, you know, throw fuel on the fire. So I don't believe a lot of things is true. And then think about it. You've been a Drake fan for a while, and I honestly say I don't dislike Drake. I like some of Drake music. And as long as Drake been out, me personally, I have never heard anything about Pedal. I've never heard anything like them, but ever. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't believe it. Now, if it is true, allegedly, maybe if somebody know, then hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or with Kendrick, but his kidnapping, if that is true, allegedly,
All right,
somebody would know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that Kendrick used bots?
Do I think Kendrick used bots? No. I honestly, I didn't think Kendrick used bots. I didn't think Drake did. I thought they just, for whatever reason, like they saying, because honestly, I thought they were making up stuff about each other. Then it went to say like, oh yeah, they got inside information on each other and this and that and whatnot. But I mean, I didn't think he used bots. So I'm honestly, I don't know. I thought it was just a beef, like how when Nas and Jay-Z, and he had when Jay-Z actually was messing with dude's baby mom, so he had some personal information on, you know, they had personal information on each other, whatnot. Then they just chose to defame each other's character, thinking just throwing digs, not necessarily have to be true or anything like that. So I mean, I don't know. I didn't think he used bots or whatever, man. I mean, I thought it was just a rap beef.
Well, let's listen to this clip by Joe Budden.
Go ahead.
Knew he did. But I not care that he used bots. Not care that he used bots, but I knew he did. What else is there to y'all didn't know that Kendrick used bots?
No, and I didn't care.
You thought that this was just the first time miraculously that a Drake record ever had more dislikes than likes, or you didn't know that was bots? Bots, to me, was a part of how you win the war versus Drake. Not care that he used bots.
So that's what he said.
That's what he said. But then, how does he know that?
Well, he's in the industry.
Yeah, he's in but that don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything, man.
Well, he probably knows about some of these practices.
And he probably do.
That labels do behind the scenes.
And he probably do. He's in the
industry.
industry.
Could have been that they use
but
some
bots. But at the same time, that is still not accredited. It's still not credited. He can say that all day long. Hell, Jamie Foxx come and say, yeah, man, Kendrick using bots. How do you know that? I mean, it just still don't matter. In the court of law, how you think people get off for murder? You have to prove beyond reasonable doubt.
If you find out beyond reasonable doubt that Kendrick used bots, would that change your opinion of what Not Like Us did at all?
If they found out that Kendrick used bots, then obviously, it's just proven beyond reasonable doubt. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but would you go like, okay, then, low key, like Kendrick lost the beef? Come on.
No. This is what I would say. I wouldn't say Kendrick lost the beast, but I would say definitely the bots made the album do more than what.
Yeah, what
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
the song. Yeah,
the song. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the song do way more. And I'll be honest with you, I like the song, but now I'm tired of hearing the song.
Yeah, but guess what? Them bots still pushing it out.
And that could be the algorithm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that Kendrick did use bots. Now, did Drake use some stuff too? Yeah, he probably used some artificial stuff. They were really going at each other, and when I look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, I think they're going to find out that these people were doing some things behind the scenes. But here's the real thing that nobody's talking about. How do you respond to your biggest enemy? Think about this. How do you respond to your biggest enemy just dropping an album?
By suing him.
He has taken the headlines. And listen, I think it's a smart move, right? I mean, look at what we're talking about right now. We're talking about this law. We're not really talking about the album as much. And listen, we probably should have had on people like Green Tea, by the way. Shout out Green Tea, because, we've had some epic battles. And maybe we will have her on eventually once I listen to this album a little bit more so I can, get my takes ready.
She eats, sleep, and breathe by. You already know.
Yeah. We'll bring on Green Tea. We'll bring on Q again so we can talk about the stuff with the industry. But, let's be honest here. Like, what Drake has just done is kind of genius when you really think about it. Regardless of whether he wins this or not, in terms of the petition that he put forth, the legal action he's taken, it's a smart move for him to put this out right when Kendrick drops the album. Because now, if MGM and the record label, if they were doing this,
MGM.
they can't do this.
UGM?
They're a part of it. But if they put out, dang, I forgot my train of thought.
Uh-oh.
If
UMG, I'm sorry. UMG, I keep
yeah, so if UMG was doing these practices, now they can't use those bots.
So now you think
to
that
help
would
him
bring
with
some
his
of the
album.
steam down on his album?
Yes.
I mean, that
And
would be a
so
smart strategy.
when the numbers
I will
come
say
out,
that.
I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, he didn't use any of the traditional promotion. It's like, okay. But when these numbers come out and these numbers are low, I don't know, man. These bots aren't there to save you. People are really getting to hear your music for real. This album should have been like Heat. I should have heard from everybody resounding that this was like one of the best albums ever.
I have a theory.
And I haven't heard anybody. I haven't heard any of the Kendrick people. I haven't heard anybody like, yo, this is the best thing. Like, it's just an okay Kendrick album.
I have a theory.
Now it's still good. There's a lot of songs on there that I like, but it's just an okay Kendrick album. Go ahead.
I got a theory. Actually, now you give me. I have a 2-part theory. One, what you said about him dropping this petition when the album come out to take some of the steam, or it could do the reverse effect. It could, you know what I'm saying? It could boost it. That's one particular theory, right? You ever notice, not everybody, but some people, like, say they put out an album, they might put it out maybe like a year or so ago. And they said, man, that was a while ago. Now all of a sudden the album taking off, right? The second theory is maybe, like how you said, it may not have that esteem right now, but maybe after he does the Super Bowl, they might just start streaming the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's possible,
listen,
too.
I think...
Because I'm sure he's going to do some of those tracks on there, so they may start streaming it, you know what I mean?
There's only a couple of songs that are actually...
that you feel is
I'm
good?
sorry.
Well, you
I
don't
gotta
like
say
Kendrick,
it.
though.
I got to be honest.
You don't like Kendrick, though.
There's only a couple of songs on this album that I would listen to again.
But you don't like Kendrick.
And most of them involve SZA. And so, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm trying to actually listen to it as a person who loves rap music and hip hop and who loves this genre of music.
But you don't like
who
Kendrick.
listens to this genre of music mainly out of all the other genres that I actually still love. I don't think that it's as good as everybody wants it to be. And when people are actually being real with themselves, listen, I could change my mind because I just listened to it fresh. It's only been a couple of days. I haven't really had time to really
digest
and Kendrick's music, you have to sit there and digest it.
So do you think this is his worst album ever?
Nah, I don't think it's his worst.
No.
I think that last one was pretty bad to me.
Really? You didn't like the last one?
I couldn't listen to the last one. I couldn't listen to it. I just could not
it is
keep it going.
Whichever
one where they were fighting.
With the Hot Steppers. Oh, you didn't like that track?
No, one when they were fighting.
Him and the girl.
Him and the girl.
Dude,
yeah.
that was my favorite. It's really an album Kendrick make music honestly you sit with. Mm-hmm. And I get it. Some people don't want that. That's not for everybody, And then some people want that. And then some people don't want Drake music for them. And then some people will do both. Like me, I'll do both. you pretty much straight biased. You just straight on Kendrick's side. I mean,
No,
on
that's
Drake's
not
side.
true. That is
But
not true.
but see me, I'll do both. But Kendrick album is an album that you really have to sit with. At least the last one, you kind of sit with.
I just wish Kendrick didn't start all this stuff because, I had him in such high esteem before this.
You did, really?
And now,
I've never heard you talk about Kendrick.
I mean, I'm not really big on him anymore. I mean, like, I don't know who this new
never
guy is
ever heard
who's
you talk
so
about Kendrick.
angry and like, he used to really talk about some things. Kendrick used to really go into some stuff and really like dig deep and like make, like you guys talk about, the conscious music. Like he really used to be about that. And I don't know who this guy is. I mean, this is a far cry from the poetic justice. This is a far cry from we gonna be all right. This is a far cry from all of that. I don't know who this is. This is negative. That's what it is. It's all negative now. I mean, you gonna come after Lil Wayne. Like, man.
I don't walk in his shoes, so I don't know his grievances. I don't know what he's going through at this point in time in his life. But I do recall there's one thing that Drake said about Kendrick. Well, like you said, with all that we gonna be all right and loyalty and Drake said Kendrick rapping like he trying to free the slaves. A lot of people took offense to that.
Yeah, a lot of people took offense.
A lot of people took a lot of offense to that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're looking at Drake like he was. But
he's not doing that anymore.
I know that, but then you say that's why look at it. He was appropriating the culture. But I do think Drake is a part of the culture. He is still a part of hip hop. Hip hop is for everybody. He's still a part of the culture.
You cannot write You cannot write a storybook about hip hop without mentioning Drake at this point. That's what people don't realize.
In this era of life. In this era.
Think about the streams, man. Drake is the most streamed rapper this entire year. He didn't put out any new album or anything. He's been the most streamed rapper, even during the beef, all of that stuff, every single month, all the way up till now, November. We'll see what happens in November, December, but it's looking like he's going to be the most streamed rapper without putting out any new music for this whole entire year, every single month. Think about that. Even when Kendrick's Not Like Us was killing the game, he never was the most streamed rapper during that month. Drake was.
And you
think about that.
And you follow all that and you watch the algorithms on that and
yes.
So you really love Drake, huh? What
I listen. Listen.
When did you really get into
Drake
is your favorite? That's your favorite artist?
You know what? I think Drake kind of grew on me. I remember when Drake first came out. When he came out with You the Best. I was kind of like, oh, okay, who's this guy? And for me right then and there, I was really on Lil Wayne. This is why it breaks my heart that, Kendrick wants to come after Lil Wayne here. And they're talking about possibly a beef there.
No, Wayne already addressed that.
Okay. But I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There was some stuff going on.
I heard
there.
a little something, yeah.
But I remember, me being like, dang, like I really like Lil Wayne. And, it was Lil Wayne and Kanye back then. And, I was like listening to Drake, I was like, oh, okay. But then, Drake came out with his albums and there was one after another every single year pretty much. I mean, he just kept making music and I was like, oh yeah. And so I kind of like grew up like, when I think about like, my teenage years really listening to like Drake music. And because, Kanye wasn't really making that much music at the time, he put out some good albums. But, like he was starting to like, really kind of give it up because he was older, and then the Lil Wayne really wasn't making no music, like he wasn't making anything. And so it was kind of like that was the one that I listened to.
Was that?
And then, really Drake is the one that put me on to Kendrick and I started listening to Kendrick, so like, I mean, for me, listening to these two rappers, Drake, Kendrick, even listening to J. Cole, and at one time, really, like, J. Cole was, like, number one for a second there for me, because in terms of, who I was listening to at the time. But, Drake was just more consistent, and kept the music coming. And then at a certain point, you just have to acknowledge the greatness of being able to do it for so long, so well in a genre that doesn't really lend itself to longevity. A lot of these rappers are just okay for a little bit of time. They have their moment and then their moment passes.
Some will beg to differ. Look at Jay-Z.
And, I mean, I don't think Jay-Z's number one right now.
No,
Jay-Z was number one.
No. I'm not talking about being
He was
number
number
one.
one for like 4 years.
No. I'm not talking
maybe.
about being number one. I'm talking about long lasting in the career.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm talking about being number one for so long.
Let me ask you, who
So
who was the first hip hop artist that coming up that you remember you listened to? Who was the very first?
the
Remember?
first hip hop artist that
That
it's
got
had
you
to be
into the
definitely, listening to Pac and Biggie.
was
Like
the
listening
first
to
one you
those
ever heard?
guys, yeah,
Tupac and
and,
Biggie.
and yeah, listening to a lot of that kind of music, and then listening to Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill was like a huge one because you got to remember, I grew up with 6 sisters, and so they was bumping that.
The
They were-
Miseducation.
yes,
of Lauryn Hill?
Miseducation.
No, did they jam the Fugees?
Yeah, they listened to the Fugees, all that stuff.
So the first hip hop artist you remember as a young
is
kid
Pac,
was
Biggie, then listening to Lauryn Hill, and then I remember listening to Jesus Walks for the first time,
Kanye.
and that like blew my mind. I was like, oh man, who's this Kanye guy? And I listened to Kanye. I listened to 50 Cent. I was listening to a lot of those rappers in the early 2000s, late 90s.
You like Biggie and
And,
Pac? You like both of them?
Pac to me is like, goated. And
Because
then,
he's like because he's like a West Coast,
yeah,
born on the East, lived on the East, and then
yeah. But I,
moved to the West
to be
Coast.
honest, I hadn't listened to that much of the East Coast, but I started listening to Nas. I started listening to Biggie, and I was like, oh wow, I really like these guys, their lyricism. I can give them that, like people like Nas and Biggie. But yeah, I mean, I've listened to a lot of hip hop. I mean, I can go back. I can really think about, Snoop Dogg and all those guys. But I wasn't like influenced by them, or like they, I wasn't like, oh yeah, these are like my number ones. But like listening to NWA and Ice Cube and all those guys, listening to
That was before you was born, wasn't it?
I like listening to like Slick Rick, like I
know
listened
that's
to all
before
of
you
it.
was- I know
yeah,
that's
all that.
before you was
Well, all of
born,
this shit's
yeah.
before I was born.
Yeah.
I think was I alive when Pac died? When did he die?
What year you born?
I was born in 95.
Yeah,
So he died in 96. So yeah, I mean like
So damn, by the time you listened to him, he was already
oh
deceased.
yeah, he was already deceased.
He was
and
already-
I had
probably
probably
even Biggie.
only had 1 or 2 years of Biggie.
Probably even Biggie. He was. I was like, man,
So,
goodness.
But when I was a baby, I wasn't listening to rap. So
yeah,
but yeah, most of these people, I mean, I just grew up in it. So yeah. And I listened to all types of music. I didn't just listen to that. In the household I grew up in, we were listening to everything. We listened to I mean, one of my sisters was an opera singer, so
oh really?
yeah.
Wow.
So we listened to all types of music. But
wow.
anyways.
Man, opera, but she has some strong pipes to do opera.
Oh yeah. She was
strong.
one of the best singers. So
Yeah.
but yeah. We'll see what happens with this beef, man. We had to get in here and do a little quick podcast.
Yeah. You know what? I think about this beef with them. I think even though everybody, people, well, Kendrick won, but I don't. It didn't hurt Drake's career at all. Drake is still Drake. Drake can still do.
Well, these
phenomenal.
lawsuits beg to differ.
Well,
Because the lawsuits are.
but think about it,
in the
though.
lawsuits. Hold on. In the lawsuits, they say that Drake has lost his revenue, even though he's been the most streamed rapper
that's
this
what I
year.
was about to say.
He's lost a
So-
lot of revenue from it, and it's really damaged his. What am I trying to say? His image. And
From what I hear in the music industry, they were saying like they don't tell the rappers how the streaming stuff works, because back in the day, I get it. You'd buy a CD, you'd buy an album, you'd buy a tape. Things were tangible, right? So from what I've been hearing, most of these artists got to go on the road to do shows. That's how they see majority of their money. Now, will Drake still sell out? Yes, he will still sell out.
Will he?
Is he? Yeah, he will still sell out tours.
Okay.
Please, come on, man. Hell, if Drake wanted to come on the Black Summit podcast, I'll welcome him with open arms. You know what I'm saying? So of course he will sell out, right?
I knew you was OVO.
He will sell out. But even with those two guys at the pinnacle of their careers, you know, who gave hip hop this moment in time. Only one beef that I know of, that one rapper seemed like he kind of just like took the fire out of his opposition, his ops career. You know what that is?
Who?
It's 50 Cent and Ja Rule. You don't hardly hear nothing. I mean, Ja Rule's still around, but as far as putting on no new music, and you know, and it seemed like when 50 came at Ja Rule, and their stuff started in the streets. And like when he was, you know, when 50 was hot, and he's putting out those diss at him, wanksters and all kind of stuff like that. And man, and he would, you know, and 50 is a troll, and he trolled them. You know, they even said that, you probably heard about this, that Ja Rule was doing a show.
Okay.
And they said 50 went and bought up all the tickets of the first row, so nobody would be sitting in the front row. So I was like the first, you know, front of the auditorium or whatever. I don't know how true it is. They said he bought all the seats, so nobody would be sitting in the house like that. But either way, think about it. Yeah, you did that to troll him, if that's possible. But at the same time, hey, your tickets still sold. You know, like when Margaret Thatcher came at Snoop Dogg for the gangster rap, you know, and NWA and all that, and they bought up all the CDs and put up these petitions. Don't buy this stuff. So he says, I don't care what you do with them. You bought them. So you bought them. You still made the money regardless. You know. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, these two guys, man, I think they'll still be well off in their careers. Hell, they doing better than me and you. You know what I'm saying? And they still gonna go far, man. They still got millions of fans out there.
You think the Super Bowl is gonna be fire?
The halftime show?
Yeah,
I think it will. I think everybody gonna tune in for that.
Okay.
Everybody's
I think it's probably gonna be one of the most watched halftime shows.
Everybody's
There's too much hype around it, but we'll see what happens. You know. I know in 2025 Drake's supposed to be dropping albums. He's got that one with Cardi, him and Cardi. Playboy Cardi. Didn't Drake perform at a halftime show with somebody, didn't he? They say that he I don't know the truth on all of it, but he turned it down multiple times.
Oh, really?
He could have did it. Yeah, they're saying the one
I heard he turned it down.
Yeah, I think the one that who's the other Canadian guy? He's a singer.
Oh, The Weeknd.
The Weeknd did was supposed to be his. So he actually turned it down.
I mean, not that he did it on his, but he didn't come out guess with someone. No, he never did.
I don't think so. I don't know. Okay. No, I would have remembered. I don't remember.
I know you'd remembered.
So
you probably cried.
I knew you were gonna come after that.
You probably would have cried. Oh my God!
Listen, Drake is one of the greatest. We have to acknowledge it. It's just like it's the same deal with LeBron. It's like.
He's one of the greatest?
Well, you know, with LeBron, it's like you have to acknowledge him at this point. Even if you think that, you know,
Jordan is the GOAT,
you can't deny the numbers. When you look at the numbers, you can't deny them. And, you know, regardless of where you sit with Drake, I think he is the GOAT. You know, regardless of where you sit with him, you have to, you know, acknowledge him.
Why do you think he turned down the Super Bowl? You said it multiple times?
You
think he's too big? You don't need it?
I think it was that. But a lot of people don't realize that you don't really get paid to do it.
No, you don't get paid.
And I think some people do have to actually pay to do it. I could be wrong on that.
Some people have to pay to do No.
Yeah, like, you know, you have to pay your people to come out and do the show. Yeah. And so really they're losing money in order to get that promotion.
It's either you I know you don't get paid. I think it's either they cover your pyrotechnics.
Okay.
Either that and then your, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, whatever you're going to do,
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
So
and then, but you don't get paid. Or, like you said, or the artist covers all, or maybe they do a certain amount. And then
Yeah.
if you want beyond that, then you cover.
there's something to it where they lose a little bit of money to actually do it. And
Not Mary J. Blige.
I think Drake wasn't trying to do that. And so, like, I think that he was like, okay, you know, I don't really need it. You know,
I don't
but
think he would
Drake
lose
is always he's always been the person who's like, I don't need the validation of all of these other things. That's why he's never really been about the Grammys. Like, you know, he's never really tried to promote himself to get Grammys and stuff like that. You know, where you see Kendrick's always trying to get a Grammy.
I don't think
Kendrick's they're gonna give they're gonna give him a Grammy this time because you know of the not
I
you know not like us.
don't think Drake would lose money for doing a Super Bowl. I just think he just didn't do it because he just felt like he didn't want to do it. If anything, I mean, dude, it ain't, even if he had to pay out of his pocket, that ain't hurting him for his bread. You know, that's you know, all it is just
Drake's
even
the GOAT.
more publicity. That's just even more publicity.
Drake's the
You
GOAT.
know, so yeah, to you, he's the GOAT.
Drake's the GOAT.
You OVO, you OVO Brooks. I
Drake's the
know.
GOAT.
Why you don't come in there wearing OVO?
Drake's the GOAT.
Paraphernalia.
You know what? It's time for me to go get an OVO shirt. And when
Yeah.
me and Green Tea, if you listen to this, it's time for you to show up. And I'm going to have on my OVO.
Yeah, you
We're
need
going to be ready to battle.
You know Drake
We're
got
about to go to
You
battle.
should get them Nikes. He got some nocturnal Nikes. He had a little something with some J's too at one time.
I might go get his Air Forces.
Oh.
I think he has some. I don't know.
I know he got some
could be wrong
Nikes
about that.
nocturnal.
Okay.
And nocturnal, yeah.
Yeah.
You should come in here, man. Camped out.
Drake's
all,
the GOAT.
all Drake gear. Yeah, you see, you make me lose my train of thought. Like, God, it's you keep saying Drake the GOAT, but to me it sounds like you're saying I love Drake. I love Drake. That's what I hear. I love Drake. I love Drake. No.
You
This
got to acknowledge a GOAT.
I
Listen,
hear. I love Aubrey.
Let me say some real shit real
love
quick.
Aubrey.
Let me say some real shit real quick. We never acknowledge the GOATs while they're here. We want to give them all the admiration when they're gone. It's like, okay, they're gone. We never acknowledge the GOATs while they're here. We never give them their flowers while they're here. We
I
want to
think they
give it
get
to
their
them
flowers.
afterwards. And we want to tear them down while they're here, even though they gave us greatness. Okay? A lot of people die not really knowing that they're the GOAT. And so we need to
Yeah.
acknowledge the GOAT
I think
when we
things
see
have
one.
changed. I think Drake and Kendrick get their flowers, but I know you would literally give Drake flowers right now.
Oh
if you
my
saw him.
God, this
I know
guy.
you would. You probably wash his
guy.
feet.
Oh my goodness.
Drake, let me braid your hair.
Oh my
Let
God.
me braid your hair, Drake.
Oh my goodness. Drake's got the cut like you now.
Oh, you
cut
went
it
back
all
to
off.
You went to the low.
Yeah, he went down to the low.
Did you cry?
This guy.
Did you want a lock of his hair?
Oh.
Drake, please
I
mail
might-
me a lock of your hair.
I might have to change my hair now that Drake's changed his hair, you know? Take out these braids.
You going to a low?
I'm gonna cut it down low.
Uh-oh,
you know?
okay,
No, I'm just
alright.
kidding.
You should do it. Go ahead. Cut it down low, man.
Oh,
You should cut it down low, right? And then you let me cut it, and on the side, I'll put OVO.
OVO.
I'll put an OVO on the side.
Yeah, I want the owl.
You want the
on
owl?
side. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
do it, man. Do the owl, man. I got you. You should get that tattooed on your arm.
Oh my
The
God.
owl.
No, we ain't doing nothing like that.
What's up with why you use the owl logo?
I actually
You don't know.
But what you doing for Thanksgiving?
Eating. I'm
You
frying.
ain't gonna fry the turkey?
Yeah, I'm frying the turkey. Matter of fact,
How do you fry your turkey? You don't like, because I've been watching a lot of those videos where people like drop that shit in there.
and then run off.
Yeah, like
No.
Okay.
No. The reason why sometimes it does that because for one, sometimes the flame is too high,
okay,
and the flame is too high, or if their turkey is not like it may be wet. You know, water causes that grease to pop like that. You know,
ooh, okay,
but naturally the grease is gonna bubble up. You know,
Mhm.
and then sometimes too they have too much grease in the pot. You know,
Mhm.
I've even seen videos where they trying to do it in their kitchen. You don't do that indoors. You do it outdoors.
you got to do it
know?
outdoors.
Yeah. But
Okay.
this pot that I have, this new one I got, man, it's the truth, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I don't even have to physically light a pot like I did with my old one. I can push a button and the pile of the light. You know, I attach my propane. Wait till the grease get to about 350 because I got the basket. Put my turkey in the basket. lower it down in there slow, put that lid on it, man. 45 minutes, we eat.
Dang.
Yeah,
Is it 45 minutes?
Well, it's
That's
supposed to be 3 minutes a pound. Well, technically about 2.5, but I do roughly about 3 minutes a pound.
Okay.
So, and if you got 12 pounds, then do the math. 36 minutes.
What else?
15.
Yeah.
45. Yeah.
What else do y'all do? Do y'all do are y'all like stuffing and?
No. Once you fry turkey, you ain't doing all that.
No, but what do you guys? Do you guys have stuffing and?
Oh, do we have that?
Macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese, collard greens.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
some probably my mother might go to the deli, pick up some red rice or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that, and then of course, black folk we eat sweet potato pie. White people,
you gotta have the sweet
white
potato
people
pie.
love pumpkin pie. You know that? Did you know that?
Yeah. I've had some pumpkin pie before.
You did? I don't think I've ever had it. I know white people do. They do pumpkin pie. They don't.
I gotta have that sweet potato.
Do sweet potato pie as much. Maybe some of them do it now, but they do more pumpkin.
That sweet potato pie ain't nothing like it.
Yeah, that's sweet potato pie.
Ain't nothing like it.
Black folk can eat sweet potato pie year round.
Yeah.
I don't know too many black people who do pumpkin pie. If y'all do pumpkin pie, let us know in the comments.
I don't know if that's a thing or not. Yeah.
Yeah, well, black folk. Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna be watching some football?
Of course. Carolina girls play Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out UCLA women. We
they did the thing. They did
South Carolina women. That's the only team that I would actually go against them for is for the UCLA Bruins. La La Land, UCLA.
Man, I don't know. They just didn't look like South Carolina when they lost by 15 points. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah, I was surprised.
Me too.
I guarantee you, if they played again today,
what do you think?
We would get blown out by like 50. So
yeah. I think South Carolina.
Dawn's gonna have them.
Yeah. I think that waked them up. And then she played a couple of some freshmen too, like that one girl, new guard. Assuming they couldn't get a shot, they were scared to shoot, man. And I think Dawn gonna get in their ass. Oh yeah. No pun intended. Dawn ain't gonna
play.
Y'all see what happened?
Y'all gonna do this to me? She gonna go Denzel.
And who's to say? Maybe
I'm gonna have y'all playing.
Maybe Dawn did that to them to humble them. You know what I'm saying? To make them get their mind back. She gonna
come after them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
because the bench normally so deep,
Yeah.
They have some bigs, but we'll see. We'll see how they gonna look coming out the gate now.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been the Black Summit.
All right, man. I'm Hendrix.
I'm Brooks.
And we appreciate you guys for joining us.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. And we will be back after Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, we coming back with another one.
We'll be back after Thanksgiving. So you guys don't get too fat. Eat that turkey and enjoy your families. And we out.
All right. Peace.